Hey, what's up everybody? Jason Kelly here and creator of The Balance. Hope everybody's having a great day today. In today's segment, I'm going to show you Bruce Lee's ab routine and his favorite exercises. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Put it in the box below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But for now, enjoy this segment of The Balance. Bruce Lee was always in sought of the greatest, latest, and best exercises to improve his strength, speed, power, and explosiveness. And I have to say, his ab routine is really one that needs to be recognized because it kind of hits the nail on the head and gives you the best of both worlds, where you can have a very defined, ripped six-pack abdomen, as well as a very powerful and explosive one. But really the key to getting a six-pack and getting a lot of a definition in your abdomen is your nutrition. Bruce Lee was big on nutrition, and he even emphasizes that if you're not eating well, then you're not going to really see your abdomen or your six-pack. However, I put Bruce Lee's ab routine to the test. I did his ab exercises for a course of 10 days every day. Now, I wasn't not as strong as him to do the amount that he did, but what I did was I did as many as I can according to what he says in training your abdominals. However, I would like to mention, as a means of precaution, is that Bruce Lee uses some classic exercises like the sit-up and the Roman chair. Now, these exercises are not bad for you. These classic exercises have been deemed not functional in today's world. But what's not functional is the general population. These exercises are actually very good, but what you have to understand is that we live in a dysfunctional population. People sit too much. They start to round their spine. They start to hyperextend their lumbar spine. Now, what you have to understand is that your hips are responsible for dictating the spinal alignment. So if your hips are tilted forward, you hyperextend. If your hips are tilted backward, you round your spine. And so when this happens, you're producing excessive force on your spine. When it's tilted forward, it's in your lumbar. When it's tilted back, it's in your thoracic. And so that is what the problem is when you're doing sit-up and Roman chair. Because when you do these exercises, they produce excessive amounts of force. But if you don't have balance, which is why I named my channel what it is that if you don't have balance between the hips and spine, then the excessive force produced from the sit-up or the Roman chair will either, if you're hyperextended, go into your lumbar, or if you're rounded forward, into your thoracic. So you really need to have some sort of balance when you're doing those two classic exercises. And so like I said, it's not the exercises that are bad, it's your body that's bad. It's your body that's out of alignment. And so you have to understand this, is that if you start compounding force on top of misalignment, then that misalignment is going to give and it's going to leave you with a strain or an injury. It's much like trying to build a house in the sand. If you build a house in the sand, as you build and you compound the force on top of the sand, it's going to give way because the sand is a poor stabilizer. It's poor alignment. And so you can't build, you won't have a good foundation in order to build a good amount of force on. Think of your hips and spine this way. And so when it's aligned, it can better balance and use the force to be stronger. But if you're misaligned and you are trying to do certain types of exercises, then what you're doing is you're taking that force and you're putting it in to where the misalignment is. And that's what you have to understand about doing not just abdominal exercises like sit-ups and Roman chair, but any exercise in general. So I don't want to be so long-winded, so let's get to the exercises. I'm going to show you Bruce Lee's routine and his exercises that he did, and I'm going to show you some alterations to some of the exercises that I felt were evolved in a certain way. So give them a try and leave your comments below and let me know how they work out for you.
These are dragon flags and they're really tough to do. So when you do them, make sure you really pull through the bar and keep your hips up. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up. Here's an alteration to the dragon flag. So if you can't get your legs into extension, just get your hips up. Squeeze your glutes there so your hips stay high and bend your knees back and forth. And here's a fairly simple exercise, but effective, is the twist. And so you're basically twisting your oblique and bringing your elbow to your knee. You have to remember, Bruce Lee was big on making the movements count and not mindless movement. So as you do it, make sure you contract. And here's a variation with dumbbells that if you want to add a little bit of load here, you can add some dumbbells. And again, you're twisting, taking that dumbbell to the knee and rotating back and forth. And here's another variation of putting the dumbbells above your head and doing the same thing. Again, don't do mindless movement. Make it count, make it contract. And here's a sit-up slant board. I don't have a different slant board that's more longer, so I had to use this as a makeshift. And so strap your feet in and come all the way down and all the way up. And here's a dumbbell side bend. You want to bend side to side and you want to go over the midline to the other side as well. I added a variation here with a little bit of a rotation, so you would do a side bend and then a thoracic type of rotation there. Okay, bend and rotate. This is great because you're really going to work on your oblique and your lower back muscles as well. So you're getting all of those hip muscles being worked. And then going to the opposite way as well. And these are frog kicks, so you can do them without the band, but I like using a resistance band because it really makes those lower abdominals work. Hanging leg kicks. So you want to lift your knees up to parallel and then just extend your legs out. Think about contracting your quads when you extend your legs. You can do this right after the hanging knee raises, or you can just choose to do this one. It's a straight leg lift. Again, so you're lifting your feet up in a straight leg position, and you can pause at the top there if you want to. This is one I made up here. It's a resistance band overhead rotation, and it's similar to the elbow twist. You're just taking your resistance band and pulling and trying to pull that elbow to knee. So here's a reverse sit-up, and basically what you want to do is just kick your legs back up and lift your hip up off the bench as well. And here's a reverse sit-up frog kick, and I'm just reversing the direction and I'm kicking my leg straight out there. Great to work that lower abdomen and mid-abdomen as well. And here's another twist exercise that I really like a lot. It's using the resistance band. And again, it's taking elbow to knee, and make sure it's not mindless movement and that you're really focusing on contracting those obliques and rotating at the same time. So be careful with the Roman chair. So when you do your Roman chair, make sure that you squeeze your glutes and you scoot your hips forward a little bit and keep your abdominals tight. Don't let any tension go into the spine, the lumbar, or the thoracic region. And here's a few extra exercises for you guys in resistance band leg kicks. And these are hanging knee tucks. These really work your whole abdominal from top to bottom. And another one is the resistance band side kick. So when you lift that knee up, you want to bring that elbow to the knee and contract that oblique. I know I said 10 days, but I went 15 days instead. So, and here's the results of doing the ab training every day.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed Bruce Lee's abdominal routine and his exercises. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to my channel to receive future notifications based on strength, health, fitness, and even more of Bruce Lee's exercise or training routines in general. Take care and have a balanced day.